Someone who doesn't waste a single day is funny man and Britain's Got Talent's reigning champion, Jon Courtenay, currently making people laugh on his new tour, Jon Courtenay Live, which is fantastic. Your first tour?
Yes, my first tour, my first experience with people coming to see me who have paid to see me, which is really exciting.
Big responsibility, yeah.
It is, yeah, the pressure's on, but I think it's going to be a great experience.
And you see that, you know, the Britain's Got Talent thing, life-changing for you?
Completely,
Yeah. Who have you got to thank for that, as well as the public who voted for you, but who have you got to thank?
Well, my kids always asked me to do it. They wanted Daddy to be on the telly, but I was pretty busy, so I had a lot of excuses not to do it. And I also didn't know what I'd do, because I've been doing a show for 25 years, a comedy show, stand-up, bit of piano, and I didn't know what I could do in 3 minutes, because there's a lot of pressure there to show, you know, do I do piano, singing, comedy? And then a friend of mine suggested that, why don't you write a song about auditioning and make it about very much here and now? Because I did a few songs like that in my show before, about stuff that was happening, topical stuff. And I thought, yeah, that could be good. And I wrote it really quickly. As soon as he gave me the idea, everything came out about being home to see my kids more. But I didn't want to wring tears out of everybody, so I made some jokes. You pick on the judges.
But you did bring tears out in a lovely way. I mean, I remember watching that and just watching your boys in the audience was just so beautiful. And they were so proud of you.
Well, I hadn't seen that until it was broadcast. I didn't see their reactions until we actually watched it being broadcast 4 months later, so because it was recorded in January.
Did you weep too?
I might have had something in my eye, yeah. My kids were there watching with me, and I was like, you guys! It was a beautiful moment, yeah.
And could you have imagined at that moment where this would have taken you now, going on tour, you're on television all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to perform at the Palladium. I mean, that was my dream, and you know, I thought, well, I'm not famous, I'm the wrong side of 40, I don't think it's going to happen, I'm not going to get to the Palladium with my own show unless I get on there auditioning. So that was my one thing, and I hope I don't get buzzed off. And just the opposite happened.
The golden buzzer.
Yeah.
Was that a bit of a blur at the time?
Yeah, it really was. Because normally, I mean, when you watch all the behind the scenes when they're filming it, Ant and Dec normally come out if something's gone wrong, or if they've got to fill some time in. They'll often come out and chat to the audience. And I'd finished, and then I sort of saw them come running out, and I thought I thought they were going to stop because something had gone wrong, you know.
Aww.
So it took a moment, and my son Nathan was going, Dad, you did it, you did it. Yeah, it was. I watch it back now, and it just still feels like somebody else.
Who have been your influences, Jon? I mean, when you look at your act, you look at what you do. Who would you have looked upon to draw inspiration from, if anyone? Or are you just unique?
Well, it's that tricky thing, isn't it? You don't want to be influenced by too many people, so you get accused of being too... But if you play piano and you do comedy, you're going to get Victoria Wood thrown at you, of course. Nowadays, you've got Tim Minchin, who I absolutely love. Yeah. But I grew up watching Victor Borge. I mean, that was sort of... he was in the 1950s, but my dad told me about him. And then he got me all the videos, and I watched Victor Borge and Tom Lehrer, and they were all long before I was born. But those were people that could sit at a piano and be funny.
And were you a funny kid? Like, were you the class clown? And did you like making...
Not really. I was bullied a little bit as a kid. I was into magic when I was a kid, and that's never going to be sort of too popular.
Well, that'll never work. Look at Stephen Mulhern.
I know, yeah, terrible.
What's it done for him?
He's still fighting off that image, isn't he? We joked about it. We did the Royal Variety together, and we were talking about it a lot. But, you know, that was... I was at a boarding school. It was a military boarding school, quite strict.
Oh, I went to one of those.
Yeah, yeah. We're OK now, aren't we?
Yeah. We're fine. It hasn't affected us at all.
Yeah. So I guess now, being on stage and sort of making people laugh, it maybe is part of the antithesis of being picked on a bit.
I mean, you mentioned there with Britain's Got Talent, you've only got 3 minutes. You know, now you've got a whole show.
Yeah. And
people, you know, just see you at the piano, but you did stand-up. You kind of started more with stand-up than music, really.
Yeah, well, even doing the magic, it was about comedy. It was never about trying to be pulled out, or David Copperfield. I didn't want to make people... It was about making people laugh. So, and so... what I'm getting now from BGT, people that have seen my show over the last couple of months have come up and said, oh, you make me cry. And that's all I'm getting. And I'm like, I've spent my whole career trying to make people laugh.
Well, you're going to make us laugh or cry now this morning?
Well, yeah, hopefully, laugh, hopefully,
OK,
yeah.
well, what are you going to do for us?
Well, you found me a piano. That's amazing.
Just happen to have one here.
Yeah, incredible. Well, what it is, that there's a song that I started writing just after my audition. And this is totally true. We left the Palladium, we might have had some champagne, and I might have fallen down the steps outside the theatre. And my wife caught me. She caught my arm, and she said, Jon, don't die. That would be a waste of the golden buzzer. Because that's how much she loves me. And it made me laugh. So on the train on the way home, I started writing this idea of a song about how I could ruin this opportunity that I'd been given after so long in the business, you know. So I've got an abridged version of it because we haven't done that much time today. So a slightly edited version for you guys. And if you want to watch the whole show, the whole song, come see me on tour.
Now, the thing is, of course, later on we have the Jacksons. You're only going to be compared to them, you know, as to what you do.
This is the closest I'll get to performing with the Jacksons. Okay. Yeah, I'm OK with that.
What's the song called, Jon?
Well, it's called I Must Not Die. after what Emma said, you know, don't die. But I've actually cut the chorus out, so you won't hear that bit.
You'll imagine it.
You've got the juicy bits either side of it. So.
OK.
OK.
My career could bounce back from an assortment of setbacks. I could maybe stub my finger or my toe. I could get a broken nail, or there are many kind of ailments that would never make a difference to my show. I'm hoping that the pearly gates will want to make my visit late, although heaven has got talent, that's the truth. But I want to live to be the big branch on my family tree, so my children in their youth see me with Eamonn and with Ruth. And now the bridge, I'm gonna croon. The bridge is the part of the song that has a different tune, but bridges can be another fatality. Like a bridge over troubled water, London Bridge is falling down. The rope bridge groans in Indiana Jones, but Indy didn't die. Just like James Bond, you always can rely. The bullets will always miss him when they fly, leaving him to wittily reply, "No, Miss Moneypenny, I don't expect to die." Old school, Sean Connery. I can't do Daniel Craig. My wife wants to.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So people will get your Britain's Got Talent greatest hits, obviously, on tour, but you've got lots of new material.
There is, yeah. I mean, obviously, I've had a lot of time to write.
Yeah.
And I've been... I think as a songwriter and as a comedian, you want to write stuff that people can relate to. So, obviously, with the whole world going through what it's been through, there's a lot of stuff there to write about. But you've got to be careful because so many people have been suffering. And so I think the song that I wrote for the finals, that was the hardest song that I ever sort of had to write because I didn't want people to think that I was making light of the situation. But at the same time, people wanted to feel good and look to the future.
Yeah. I think people are desperate to get out now and get into
I really hope
theatres
so,
and
especially
enjoy
for comedy, you know? I mean, and that fee... I've done a lot of virtual shows at home and I've been on this show twice before, but haven't actually made it to the sofa. So there's no substitution for a live audience. And I think a theatre full of people laughing together, it is the best medicine.
And you're starting in your home patch of Ipswich?
Yeah, my old hometown, yeah. I live near Manchester now, but I was brought up in Ipswich. And that's the Corn Exchange in Ipswich on the 19th is the first date of the tour. Yeah, it's going to be... it's exciting. Got lots of friends and family coming.
And you're going right through to January?
Yeah, dates are still being changed. I mean, theatres are still changing dates. People from last year are still touring, so things are changing. But the dates are at joncourtenay.com. And, through till January at the moment, and then probably another tour after that. And Scotland, hopefully. I'm getting so much flack from Scotland.
For not going?
For not going. We haven't got any Scottish dates yet. And so Scotland, Ireland, more in Wales. I will be doing the UK, yeah.
Well, we're so pleased for your success, Jon, and it was a pleasure watching you on Britain's Got Talent and your lovely boys and your family, and I was so thrilled for your success and have a great first tour.
Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Jon, thank you very much indeed.